I think Tom Pidcock was really at his limit. I think he's such a smooth bike rider, but you could really see it like in the final moments when it looked like he might just get caught. So it was kind of good in a way to see that Pidcock's human as well. But yeah, well and truly deserved win. First ever Brit to podium in Strade Bianche.
First ever British man to win Strade
Oh
Bianche. Of
yeah,
course, no
wow.
erasure for Lizzie Deignan, formerly Lizzie Armitstead, who won the women's race.
Who's
Did
also
she
from
win?
Yorkshire, I'd like to point out.
Is she? Oh,
She went to the same high school as me.
oh.
Claim to
She
fame
lit
there.
Yeah, literally she is literally lives in my town, Otley, GP, if anybody knows that. But yeah. Just saying. Random.
Uh, that nice piece of information aside, but yeah, sticking on Pidcock, we covered it over in a video on the Cycling Dane channel, you and I, how his attributes would fit with the different monuments. This isn't a monument, as Patrick has established firmly, but Milan-San Remo is coming up. He's done that race twice, 2021 when it was his first, well, his neo-pro season with Ineos Grenadiers. He came 15th. He was very visible on the Poggio. He's now got two more seasons under his belt. Is Tom Pidcock one of the favorites for Milan-San Remo, this chaotic race? And does history support that?
I think well we were saying before recording this how there is a strangely strong correlation between people who win Stadi and then also go on to win Milano-San Remo in the same year. It's happened, what was it? It was Wout van Aert in the COVID year, Alaphilippe in 2019, and Michał Kwiatkowski in 2017. So there is a pretty strong kind of correlation going on there. I think Pidcock does have the attributes of somebody who should be doing well in Milano San Remo. Whether he can win is very difficult because, of course, his descending is very good, so he could do a Mohoric-esque sort of thing. But it seems more and more nowadays that it's harder to break the peloton, or if you can call it a peloton, about time on the Poggio. It's hard to break that group apart at the moment. Everybody seems to be on such flying form that people attack, and some moves perhaps get off the front, but they're never quite conclusive. It seems all very like a stalemate. So it feels like Pidcock would really have to be trying to beat people in a sprint, and I do feel like although he has beaten Wout van Aert in a reduced sprint at like Brabant-Sipel in the past, I just don't think that his sprinting is good enough to win in a flat sprint at Milano San Remo. Do you guys think that's fair to conclude?
Yes, 100%. I think if it comes to the Via Roma with the likes of Pogacar, Van der Poel, Van Aert, I think zero chance he wins that in a sprint. Maybe not zero, maybe a 5% chance he wins that in a sprint. Yes, as you mentioned, Brabant-Sipel, but that sprint in Overijse, it's a little bit uphill. Via Roma it's flat as a pancake. It's a straight line. I'm not favorable of his chances in that way. He'd have to go solo. And I think like a Mohoric style attack would work. Does he have the pure kick to get away from the likes of Van der Poel, Van Aert? We'll find out. His attack the other day was a little bit more sort of sneaky because Bettiol attacked initially, then about 5-10 seconds afterwards, he responded. It wasn't like he attacked when the race was on and completely distanced everybody. He just he went away in a period where the peloton weren't necessarily going to follow every move. So definitely, I think he could win it, but I'm skeptical. I think I'd rather place a bet on Van der Poel, Van Aert, Pogacar, and the like, even Mohoric to do it again as well.
Yeah, I
Would
think
he attack
that's
before the Poggio though? That could be on the
No, it
suppressor.
doesn't work. It doesn't work. We saw it last year. Pogacar tried. So I'm sorry if Pogacar can't do it, Pidcock can't.
Ouch.
yeah. I think
No,
it's
it's
a fair point.
uh,
It's a fair point. I
I
think that Ewan's got a point.
we know he's a brilliant descender, but now everyone knows that as well. So it's not like they're gonna let him go on the Poggio. There are people that could potentially keep up with him, or at least limit it to 5-6 seconds, and then
Hmm.
but I think I think descending skills is the thing that I mean, if you're good at descending, it's an absolute blessing because you have that pure ability to go faster than everybody else. There's nothing other teams can do to try to get him back. We saw that with Mohoric last year. He was the bravest on the descent. He made the difference there. If you're good at descending, you will gain time on that descent. Despite how quick the peloton may go, it's down to sort of fear and skills and so forth of whether they can catch Pidcock. I mean, it's quite hard to explain what I'm trying to say, but I think like if he goes on the descent, then I think he's got a good chance to make a gap. But
can he hold that gap though? That's the thing.
Maybe. I just think it is hard because even though people knew last year that Mohoric was a good descender, but yet he still descended away and he still won. So therefore, people know that Pidcock's a good descender, but that doesn't really mean like, oh, I need to pay extra attention because obviously that didn't really work with Mohoric. Perhaps Mohoric is a bit more of an underdog because they're like, oh, he's good at descending, but we haven't really, like, he's done some good stuff, but perhaps he's not the craziest name. Let's say we could perhaps, afford to give him a bit of leeway. But yeah, Pidcock's perhaps got a bit more of a target on his back.
That is a good point.
We've seen in the past as well, riders with big targets on their back usually a little bit overmarked in San Remo. We saw it last year with Pogacar. We've seen it with Van der Poel, Van Aert as well in the past. Sometimes they do just have that natural kick to get away. We saw it in 2020 when Wout and Alaphilippe went away on the Poggio in the COVID edition. Yes, a little bit of a different sort of atmosphere because it was the COVID edition. But in a normally positioned Milan-San Remo, the out-and-out favourite attacking on the Poggio and going all the way to the line, it doesn't happen that often. Mohoric wasn't a favourite. Jesper Stuyven was an underdog. Yeah, he went after the Poggio, but still, it's these guys who, if they can make it, even Nibali wouldn't be a favourite for San Remo, went off the front in 2018. We thought, maybe he'll get caught, and he didn't all the way to the line. So I think it is rare to see the out-and-out favourites go on their own without anybody reacting.
Yeah, literally like the last time I saw that happen was maybe like 2017 when Kwiatkowski won. Like Sagan attacked and people like went with him. Like it was so long ago in the peak Sagan era. It's hard to break the elastic.
Even then, he had passengers with him. Despite being the key favourite, people came with him. If Pidcock attacked, I'm sure Pogacar, Wout, Van der Poel, Mohoric will try to be on his wheel. I don't think Pidcock has it in him to go out completely solo. Maybe on a descent, over the top of the climb, if he tries to attack over the top, maybe he could distance the others. But I think it's very hard going into San Remo as an out-and-out favourite to try to distance yourself from the main peloton.
I mean, we might as well do a bit of an unrealistic prediction here. Where do you think Pidcock's going to finish at Milan-San Remo? Oh, by the way, we forgot to mention Fabian Cancellara 2008 before anyone puts it in the comments down below.
I'm going to go with, I kind of see a similar scenario to last year happening. I reckon it's going to get even more aggressive on like the Cipressa. I reckon that's the new trend. And I think that, probably somebody else clips away, maybe like a duo. I reckon Pidcock will sprint to like 5th.
Yeah, I would say lower top 10, to be honest. I'm not convinced.
I was going to say 12.
It's going to be a win. I just think there are other contenders in this. Also, this year going into it, there are a lot of really strong sprinters who are very hardy going into San Remo, more than there have been, I would say, in the past couple of years. Thinking of Mads Pedersen, who's really targeting this race, Biniam Girmay, Arnaud Delis. 3 really, really strong contenders here. If their teams can sort of control the race, then I think that could be it really for a sort of an escape group or a solo guy like Pidcock. And I don't think he has it in him really to sprint to a top 5 if it does come down to a bunch gallop or a reduced bunch gallop in that sense.
Check out our clip with where we discuss Arnaud Delis for Milan-San Remo favorite.